Alright, sorry for the delay. What's up, Nerd Herd? What's up? Alright, Big Johnny G here with you. I got one lonesome 20-sided warrior at my side, Ryan. How's Gen Con going? Oh, it didn't start yet, unless you're watching this tomorrow. Alright, guys, maybe you're stuck at Gen Can't. Another feeling. Anyway, so tonight, while you're wondering what to do before Gen Con starts, let me give you a preview of a brand new game by Foresight Games. Foresight Games. It's called Fate of Akalon Tribes. It's a 2 to 4 player game. Plays in about 15 to 30 minutes. And it's for 14 and up. Looking at the rules, it looks like this is primarily a 2-player game that can support 3 and 4 player variants. Myself and Ryan are going to try the regular 2-player. This is an out-of-the-box review. If you just get the game and you throw it down on your table as soon as you get it to play with a buddy of yours, this is how it's going to feel. This is going to be the experience. Looking through the rules for the first time, looking through the cards for the first time, and playing it for the first time. So, Gen Con, Gen Can't, may I present to you Two Gun Pixie presents Legendary Gaming Fate of Akalon Tribes. Fate of Akalon. Now, in this game, the backstory is the world has gone to shit. For 14 years, there's been horrible summer storms that have been sweeping through the area. It's arid, it's hot, it's humid. So the different races are trying to find a better place to live, and they all coming together. And so there's going to be some conflict. Now, there's the game comes with a rule book. There you go, rule book right there. Not very big, not very intricate. You can get through it pretty quick. It's 13 pages, 14, 15 pages, right? Some of it is flavor text, which is kind of cool to read. The rules are quick and easy. There's some nice illustrations in the rule book there. Definitely show what's going on, so you can look at something while it's describing it to you. That always helps. As always, the rule master, but never a rules lawyer, Ryan, will second guess me all the way through. The game comes with the equivalent of 4 decks. Comes with the equivalent of 4 decks, equal amount of cards, representing the 4 different tribes in the world of Akalon. I have chosen the undead, because they're undead. Come on, let's face it. Get to play vampires and zombies, I'm there. So that leaves Ryan with the choice of the dwarves, the elves, and the orcs.
I will go with the elf deck, because elves are cool and they're magical.
Elves are overrated.
I will agree with that. They are a little overrated, but I do like elves.
Alright, so the other 2 tribes go right back in the deck. Kyle, if you're watching, Ryan does not like your elf.
Okay, so shuffle these up.
The first thing that you do is you shuffle your cards. These brand new cards, I don't want to give them a hard shuffle. Don't have sleeves for them yet. Me, I don't go all out getting a lot of sleeves. Have to be, it's definitely something that I take off the shelf quite often, that I'm worried about the cards, but a lot of the gamers out there in the nerd wasteland like to shelve all their cards, so that's cool. You can put little sleeves on them, I mean. So that's why I'm doing a little soft shuffle right now. The cards seem good stock quality here. They feel good in your hands.
They feel really nice.
They don't stick together.
Which is a big plus. It's always an issue that we're running into, is cards sticking together, and it's like, oh, I have now 7 cards in my hand instead of 5.
Yeah, there's one big name company I'm not going to name that I love, but that's always a huge problem with their cards. All right, all shuffled up.
Okay.
Now, the back of all the cards look identical. Every tribe deck, they look absolutely identical on the back. It's just on the front, bottom right corner, it tells you whether it's orc, undead, elf, or dwarf.
Alright, so the first step is the skirmish step to determine who will be the first attacker and first defender. So you place the top card from each deck onto the battlefield, ignoring all card text. Highest combat value wins the skirmish. Combat value is denoted in the upper right-hand corner. So my archer has a combat strength of 2.
And all of these numbers are in a symbol, which is unique to each of the tribes. I have a 5 in a headstone.
So the 5 is the higher of the 2 combat value, right? Yeah, the combat value.
My Death Knight.
So, alright, if tied, is not tied, the winning card is placed in that player's discard pile. Loser of the skirmish decides which player is the first attacker. The losing card is placed in that player's cemetery. Oh, okay, I see. So there's a layout of how to do each thing. So I'll keep the deck in the middle.
It's very difficult, from what I understand, to get cards out of the cemetery.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, so...
But I am undead.
My card is in my cemetery, then. And I'll say that, yeah, since I'm still figuring this out, you can be the first attacker.
Okay, so this goes in my discard pile,
yes.
then, correct?
Yes.
This will be to the side of the deck.
Okay, and then both players draw 5 cards from their deck to form their initial hand. 3, 4, and 5.
Fate of Akalon.
Okay.
By Foresight Games.
Most of the game is spent in a series of battles where cards are played to the battlefield and their combat values are totaled to determine the battle outcome. To play a card means to place it on the battlefield and follow the card text. Almost every card is card text that affects the game, unless otherwise stated. The effect only occurs when the card is played to the battlefield, and any choices must be made immediately. Okay. The 7 battle steps are described below. Alright, so the first step is attack. The attacker plays a card from their hand to the battlefield and immediately follows the card text.
Battlefield will be in front of me, I believe?
Yeah, the battlefield will be laid out directly above your deck. Discard is immediately to the right. Out of play is immediately to the left. Your hand is obviously in your hand, and then the cemetery is off to the right of the discard.
And that's placed sideways. Gotcha.
Yes.
Alright, so I bring someone into the battlefield.
Okay.
So I play there go the dogs of the wasteland, Mojo and Moxie, guarding us as we game. Alright, so I get to I place one first, and then after you see what I place, then you place.
Yeah, so the step immediately following the attack phase is the defend phase, where the defender plays a card from their hand and immediately follows the card text.
Okay, looking at my hand of the undead tribe, trying to figure out, this is the first game, whether it's more prudent to try to just kick in the door and kick ass and take numbers and names, and or I should play it light. You know what? I'm going to bring out the mummy. He's a 3.
Mummy wins ties, +1 on the battlefield +1.
So on the battlefield, then, I'm assuming that means that his 3 would mean a 4.
Let's see.
Since he is in the battlefield area.
I believe so. That makes sense to me. Alright, so then as the defender, I get to play my card. I will then put out my elf archer, and the effect is you may play another card, so then I will immediately play the Sylvian attendant as a follow-up. Okay. Then step 3 is the fight. After all cards are played, add combat values for all cards for each player on the battlefield, including card text effects to find the battlefield value. Compare the highest battlefield values to determine the winning player. Highest battlefield value wins the battle. If there is a tie, both players lose the battle. Okay.
Unless it's my mummy.
Exactly, unless there's an effect that specifies otherwise. So, my battlefield value is a 5, for my Sylvian attendant being a 3, and my archer being a 2. And your mummy is at a 3 with a battlefield value of +1, so it's at a 4. So the 5...
Which means my mummy loses.
Yes. So the aftermath phase, victorious cards are placed on top of the discard in any order. That order cannot change. Defeated cards are placed in the cemetery. Order also does not matter.
Alright, I only have one card to place in the cemetery.
So I will place the Sylvian attendant first and the archer second. Then the next is the initiative phase. If the attacker wins, or if there's a tie, then the attacking player does not change. If the defender wins, that player becomes the attacker. Okay, so you were the first attacker. I won that battle, so now...
Because I lost, then I lose the ability to be the attacker.
The attacker on the next round. So now the roles switch. I'm now the attacker, and you're the defender. Let's see. What's step 6? Victory? Victory? That's what it says in the rulebook.
Yes.
It's a question mark. The total combat value of all cards in a player's cemetery is the cemetery value. Check the cemetery value for both players. If either has 30 or more, the game ends. The winner is the player with the least cemetery value. If values are equal, the game is a tie. Okay, makes sense. Step 7, reinforce. At this step, if a player has no cards in the hand, that player then reinforces by drawing 5 new cards from their deck. Repeat the battle steps until there is a victor. I see. Okay. So then it just goes right back to the top.
Yep.
Phase 1 of attack. Okay.
So that means you are now the attacker.
I am now the attacker, so then I will play another Sylvan Attendant. At rank 3.
Okay. Let me read this one more time. I believe I'm going to play my ghost. All right. You may play this card from your hand to your cemetery. If you do, play a card of value 3 or less from your cemetery.
Ah, okay.
So I will play it to the cemetery and take out the mummy, which is a 3, bring him back into the battlefield, making him a +1/4.
Yep. So that then triggers the fight phase. Your mummy's at a 4. My Sylvan Attendant is a 3, so that sends the Sylvan Attendant to the cemetery.
Okay, 2 rounds in, I like the undead deck.
Now, the effect on my Sylvan Attendant says, if defeated, you may discard your entire hand.
Boo.
I'm going to do that.
Boo.
Because I have all Sylvan Attendants still in my hand.
And we all watched you shuffle.
I shuffled like crazy, and it was 1 archer and 4 attendants. I'm like, well, great. So now that I know the reinforce step at the end of the turn, knowing the whole discard thing makes a lot of sense now, because you can't draw up until you're at cards.
And also, Ryan, if you notice, and everyone at home, if you look at your card on the very bottom right corner, there's a series of dots.
Yes.
I believe that kind of means like rarity in the deck, how many there are.
Okay. Oh, so that means I have 4 Sylvan Attendants in the deck, and
I believe that's what that
are
means.
now out of here.
So do you still want to discard your entire
yes,
deck?
I'm still going to discard my entire hand. Alright,
so this then goes into my discard.
That goes into your discard, yes. And then that's the aftermath and the initiative. I was defeated, so John is now the attacker.
Woo!
Cemetery values have not yet equaled 30, so I then take the reinforce phase, which I get to draw 5 new... Right? 5 new cards? Drawing 5 new cards from their deck. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay.
Yeah. You got a full hand.
Alright, full hand.
I'll tell you what you can do with that full hand. I'm not sure if your mom would like it.
Okay, so I'm all set. Back to the top of the turn, the attack phase.
Alright, so that leaves me as the attacker.
Yes.
And I don't draw up again until I have nothing in my hand.
Right.
Okay.
Let me just see. At this step, if the player has no cards in the hand, that player reinforces by drawing 5 new cards from the deck. I don't believe it says anyone.
Okay, then...
Description, examples. Interesting. Very simple rules. Very straightforward. The rest of the book is just examples.
Oh, hold on. Okay.
Oh no.
No. Alright, Shazbot. I will play my white. That has no effect unless you play a Sylvan Attendant, but I don't think you're going to play a Sylvan Attendant.
+1 for each card in an opponent's cemetery with the same card name as any card. Okay. Yes. No, I have.
Yeah, so-
Unless I play another archer, because there is an archer in my graveyard. Or in my cemetery. So if I was
Oh, is
playing-
that okay?
Yeah, for every other one of my. So if I have an elf archer.
Oh,
out
so it's
on
not
the
just the
field,
top. It's not
I
just
believe
the.
so. With the
And
same
it says
card name.
for each card. Okay.
Any card on their battlefield. Yeah. So with that out, I'll have to keep checking my cemetery to make sure if there's any duplicates out of my field. Okay. So let's see. That was your attack. That's a 5. So I'm going to go with.
The sounds of New York City emanate from the background.
Let's see. I will play my Master Summoner.
I'm not going to like this.
Reveal the top 2 cards from your deck. If able, play 1 and discard those not played.
Oh,
All right.
Shazbot.
Pulled out a Hunter and a Commander.
I wonder what's going to happen here.
I will use the...
You're going to use the Hunter.
I will use the Commander, and I will send the Hunter as a discard or cemetery. Discard those not played. So I will play the Commander, which is a 6, and his effect is you must draw a card or discard a card. So, let's see. I'll draw a card because he was played. Alright, so that then triggers the battle phase. Puts me at a 7 after the Commanders come out.
And the white is at a 5.
White is at a 5.
So the white is defeated and goes to my cemetery.
Yes. And my...
I have a feeling my cemetery guys come back often now.
Yeah, I have a feeling about that too. So my Commander and my Summoner go into my discard pile. And play then resumes back at the top. Let's see.
Okay.
We'll go out strong on this turn. We'll start out by playing my Elf Wizard. Rank 7. No special effects.
I am going to play my Grave Robber. He only has a value of 2, but I may move a card of value 3 or less from any cemetery to the out of play area.
Oh, any cemetery. So I have my Sylvan Attendant and my Archer.
Your Archer will go to the out of play area.
Okay.
And I'm going to lose the battle.
Okay. So this goes to my discard pile, and I'll resume, maintain as the attacker. You have 1 card in your hand, still okay.
I have 1 card left.
Okay.
1 measly little card.
This turn, I will put into play my Hunter. Effect is you may draw a card. If I do, I then have to discard a card. I will do so. I will draw this card, and I will discard my Seer.
Right. I will throw out my last card, my Bone Thrower. I may play another card.
Ah, but there is no other
There's
card.
no other card to play. So the Bone Thrower will get his bones thrown into the cemetery.
Yes. And the Hunter will...
See, there's only 1 point against your Hunter had
3.
1,000? A 3, okay, there you go.
Close enough.
1,003. Now, reinforce. So I get to draw back up to 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5.
Yes. I'm still the attacker. Let's see. I will throw down my Swordsman. Effect is you may discard a card of value 3 or higher from your hand to draw a card. I'm not going to take that option at this time. I'm going to let that effect stay. So I will just have the Swordsman come out onto the battlefield.
And he's a 5, you say?
Yes, he is a 5.
I will throw out The other bone thrower that I have, it looks like I have two, according to the dots. You may play another card, and with the bone thrower comes his buddy, the ghoul. The ghoul is a 5, the bone thrower is a 1, that's a 6, and the opponent may not play, each opponent can play only one card.
Okay.
So,
that
he can't throw anything else, so these guys go in the discard pile.
Yes, and my swordsman goes to the cemetery. Now you are the attacker.
There they go. I'm going to play the second of what looks like my 4 ghosts. To put him in the cemetery and take out the dreaded, the feared, the long thought dead a second time, but no, the white. The white has returned. So if Ryan plays a
swordsman or Sylvian attendant,
then the white will gain a bonus 1 for each that matches 1 in his cemetery.
Rank 5. Well, I'll then counter with another wizard.
Oh, thank God! That's the last
second
one.
Of 2, yes.
That's interesting. I haven't played a game like this before where they actually keep track of the number of the type of card, so your opponent always knows. That's
yes, I do like that.
Very cool. All right, so obviously then my white is going back once again to the cemetery.
Yes. My wizard goes
thrice forth where he is already shambled from.
So now I'm the attacker for this phase. I only have 1 card left, which is my hunter. The effect is you may draw a card. However, I have no more cards to discard if I wish to draw a card, so I will just let the hunter stay as is.
I'm not liking this. I'm going to play my zombie. Shambles on the field, worth of 2. You may move 1 zombie, which I don't have currently, from your cemetery to your discard pile.
Okay. So there are no other zombies in the cemetery. Zombies rank 2, hunters rank 3. So that's that. Goes to the discard pile. There's the end of that round. I have no cards in my hand, so I then draw back up to 5. 3, 4, and 5.
All right, hellhounds. Down, down, hellhounds. What did I say?
Alright, so the attacker round goes to me. I'll play a summoner. And the effect is I can play the top card from my deck. Oh! Another summoner. Okay, a seer. Look at the top card of my deck, return it to the top of the deck, or discard it. I will return that to the top of the deck. So currently my battlefield value is a 5 between the 2 summoners and the seer.
I don't have a choice. Last card in my hand is the Necromancer. You may choose 1 card of value 3 or less in your cemetery and play it or move it to your discard pile. 3 or less and move to my discard pile. I will move my Grave Robber to my discard pile.
Okay. So that ends the turn. I have about value of 5, higher than the value of 2. So these go to my discard pile. Jean then gets to reinforce.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 by 5. It is alive. Well, not necessarily in this case.
Let's see. I will play my Swordsman. You may discard a card of value 3 or higher from your hand to draw a card. I will discard a second Swordsman to draw the top card.
I will answer with my white. So, I believe you have a Swordsman in the cemetery.
I do have a Swordsman in my cemetery right at the top there.
So that means the white's 5 value becomes a 6.
Yes, it does.
Beating your Swordsman a
Beating my
5.
Swordsman. So the Swordsman also gets cast away into the cemetery.
Alright, no need for reinforcement for either of us yet. No victory check. Oh. Wow. Wow. Okay, choices. You know what? I'm just gonna... I have to do this. Gotta do this. My buddy Ray, he's out there listening. This is for you, Ray. The Lich.
Oh,
The Lich. Nothing. You know why it says nothing? Because he's freaking 7 points. That's why it says nothing. And there's another one of them in here, too.
Yeah, that is the answer to the wizard.
Ah, come on. Welcome to the Tomb of Horrors.
Well, seeing as...
Bring your 10-foot pole and your bag and your iron spikes. Your torches ain't going to do you no good.
I will play my other Seer. I get to look at the top card of my deck and decide to put it back or discard it. I am going to discard it. It is another Seer.
I see another Seer looking back at me.
It's like that scene from Spaceballs when they look at the TV and it's them.
So,
that's a snap.
What is now? Now is now, sir. So the Lich goes to my discard pile.
And the Seer gets completely obliterated.
We haven't even had to use out of play. Oh, you have.
I have
you
one
have
out of play,
okay.
yes. I'm assuming what that means is that, like, once this... I'm assuming the discard pile gets reshuffled back into a deck.
Yes.
If we've run out.
I do believe I remember reading that myself.
Yeah, so the cemetery is still touchable and everything else, so okay.
Alright, so as attacker, my other Gravedigger shambles out onto the battlefield with his shovel in hand. And you may move a card of value 3 or less from the cemetery to out of play. So I am going to... I'm going to take your Swordsman, put him out of play.
Okay. Well, hearing the distant echoes of one swordsman, another scurries from the forest out onto the battlefield. I will not be taking advantage of its effect this turn.
Alright, so he destroys my Grave Robber, sending him packing to his own, well, grave to possibly be robbed later.
Later on.
Alright, so that means you are attacker now.
Attacker, I will play my last card, my Sylvan.
Another freaking Sylvan. Oh, no, that's a different one.
Yeah, the Sylvan Attendant.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, or just ones that are like...
Alright, I am going to play my skeleton. You may play a skeleton from your cemetery. I do not think I have any skeletons in my cemetery. Grave Robber, Necromancer, White, Ghost, Zombie, and Bone Thrower.
I can see where that would be dangerous because there's 4 of them in the deck. So that can just be a continuing chain of skeletons rising out of their graves.
Yep.
That's scary. But yeah, so for now, it's just the one. At level 1, my Sylvan's...
Now I have a skeleton in the
there's one
graveyard.
here, so I need to watch out for the rest of those. Okay, I have no cards in my
Yeah.
hand, so I will reinforce.
By the way, while he's doing that, you gotta check out. I hope this is focusing well enough. I have little problems sometimes. The artwork on this card, particularly, all the cards are nice, but particularly this one, the Lich, unbelievable. It really reminds me of Dungeons and Dragons from the 1980s. You know, it looks like a Larry Elmore or you know, kind of painting or something. It's fabulous, beautiful.
So I only have 4 cards in my current deck, so I'll have to then reshuffle my discard pile to take the last one. So I will do that.
You double check? That's what you do?
Yes, reshuffling. If a player's deck is ever empty, immediately shuffle the discard to form a new deck. Only the discard.
Only the discard.
So continue shuffling from the deck if continue drawing from the deck if required. So I will then give this just another, hopefully better shuffle than last time. Let's just end with trees everywhere.
What reinforcements will the elves bring in their battle against the undead to decide the fate of Akalon?
And draw the top one for the last one. Alright. So, I won the last one.
Yeah, so Ryan gets to be the attacker because he won last round. If I had won, I would continue as attacker. I can definitely see with the right cards in your hand how you could definitely build up momentum. Definitely.
Yes. For example, the Archer. Out again, you may play another card. I'll play the Scout.
And the Scout is new. Haven't seen that
Scout
yet.
is new, yes. The effect is on the attack round. After all cards are played, you may discard Scout and play again.
Huh.
I don't really see what value that would be, though. I guess another attack round?
I got one card left, which is a skeleton, which brings the other skeleton out. It's going to be really cool when I get all 4.
Yeah.
But that's still, that 2 is not enough.
2 is not enough to beat the 4.
So both of them now go to the cemetery to rise again. And for my reinforcements, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 5.
Yes. I will play the Master Swordsman. You may discard a card from your hand. If you do draw a card, I'll discard my other Scout to draw another card.
Yeah, I heard. You know what I heard? I heard what sounded like the adults on the Peanuts. What was that?
Master Swordsman comes out. You may discard a card from your hand. If you do, discard. Oh, sorry. You may discard a card from your hand if you do draw a card. I discarded my Scout.
Okay.
And drew a card from my deck.
Gotcha. So he's a 5, the Master Swordsman.
Master Swordsman. Not sure how much different he is from a regular Swordsman. Oh, the effect is different, I see.
I am going to play my skeleton. He gets his 2 buddies.
2 buddies.
3 against your 5. That's still not enough. All 3 are now in the graveyard. You can almost hear the sound of bones cracking and breaking and crunching and falling.
Following the Master Swordsman, I'll play my Swordsman.
Jeez.
Definitely seems to be the bread and butter of this deck is the Swordsman. 4 of them.
Alright, so the 4th and final. With the 3 buddies. Boom, boom, boom. You got Mo, Larry, Curly, here's Shemp. All out in the field, they all fall. Damn it.
Last card from my hand, my Wizard.
The mummy's going to have to face and fall. 3 plus 1 on the battlefield, 4.
Okay.
So Ryan gets to draw up.
Draw it back up to 5. 2, 3, 4, 5.
Since this is a live game, folks, we got about 10 minutes left before the next game, but we may have to push Crazy Rates back a few minutes. We're not going to cut anything off. And anyway, this is the night before Gen Con. What the hell else are you guys doing? How you guys are gaming? You're talking about gaming, or you're watching gaming?
I will play...
You want to play something that's going to kick my ass? And then it'll rise.
Play the Archer. I may play another card. Play my Hunter. You may draw a card. If I do discard a card, I will then discard a Swordsman. It's total 5.
Another mummy shall shamble out only to be destroyed by the Archer and Hunter.
Yes. Yes, they are.
Ryan keeps the attack initiative going.
Let's see. In theory, I will keep it going with another wizard.
I don't have a lot of choices here, folks. The vampire comes out. Choose an opponent. That opponent discards a card at random from their hand.
Ah, okay. At random. I'll just shake these around a couple times.
Watch, there's going to be another freaking attendant.
Discard or cemetery?
Yeah, discard.
Discard. Sure enough, it was the Sylvian attendant.
Alright, the vampire goes to sleep. I will draw back up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
I will play my last card, my Sylvan.
I will play a ghost. Bring back the vampire.
That'll do it. Sylvan is defeated.
Oh, wait, you don't have any cards left in your hand, do you?
I don't.
No, then I'm going to bring back the mummy.
Okay.
3 plus 1 for the battlefield, 4.
Sylvan is defeated. Defeated.
Ryan gets to reinforce.
And because of the Sylvan's effect, when the Sylvan card is in the cemetery, I can draw an extra card during reinforcement.
The Sylvan sucks.
2, 3, 4, 5, and my extra Sylvan card 6. So you won that last battle, so you are now the attacker.
Oh, play another ghost.
Okay.
To bring out a mummy. 3 in the battlefield. That makes him 4.
Well, let's see what we can get. I'll play the Master Summoner. Again, reveal the top 2 cards. And play one. Let's see. Of the 2, neither one of... Actually, this will help me. Summoner. This then gets discarded. I can then play the top card of my deck with the Summoner. I get a Hunter. You may draw a card if you do discard a card. I will draw a card, thank you. And I'll discard a Seer. So that puts me at 3, 4, 5, 6. Mummy is at a 4 with its battlefield bonus. Beat by 2.
Alright.
So these all now go.
Good try, Mummy. That gives you the attacking initiative.
Yes. Play another Summoner. Automatically flip up the only card I have, which is a Seer. Look at the top card of my deck. Return it to the top or discard it. I have no deck. So
you have to shuffle.
Yes, I should shuffle. Puts them at a total of a 3.
You know, and there's a nice balance. There's enough different types of cards in each deck, but not so many that after seeing them once or twice, you really don't even have to read what the effects are. You're automatically going to know just after looking at them a couple of times.
Yeah, in the elf deck, there ends up being occurrences of like because I have the master swordsman and the regular swordsman, so there's like upgraded versions of each one, but they do very different things. So those are the ones that keep throwing me. But like the seer, the second I see the seer, I know okay, I get to look at the top card. You know, the summoner is I'll play the top card from the deck. So that goes down. I'll look at the top card. I'll put it right back.
So that's what you got out there.
That's
Summoner and a seer for 3.
Summoner and a seer. Total of a 3. Not very.
My last mummy, I believe. +1 on the battlefield, 4, and the mummy wins ties.
That it does. To the graveyard with you. Summoner and seer. Let me look at my total. 3, 4, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15.
All right.
Okay, so you won that last one, so you go first.
My ghoul comes out. Each opponent can play only 1 card.
Okay.
The stench of the ghoul keeps most away.
The commander is up for the task.
Shiza.
Level 6, you may draw a card. You must draw a card or discard a card. I will draw a card.
Alright, so that 5-point ghoul in my deck brings me to 41. I'm sorry, 44.
Oh, okay.
Is the game 40 or 45?
What were the... Let's see. Cuts card...
So I want to say it was 40.
Victory, total combat value of cards in a player's cemetery is the cemetery value. Check the cemetery value for both players. If either is 30 or more...
Oh, then you won the last
ends.
2 rounds ago.
Winner is the player with the least cemetery value. If values are equal, the game's a tie. So yeah, so victory is at 30. You said that puts you at 44.
44.
Yes.
Ryan is the winner. The last card I had, the next one that I was going to play if I could, would have been the second and last Lich.
I was about to play my wizard.
So
So that would have been another tie. We both would have lost, though, so I believe they both would have gone to the cemetery.
So, offhand, I'd say a lot of this game does come down to the luck of the draw, but I mean, that's really, I think, any card game.
That's true. I mean, there are a lot of different effects, like the seer cards, where like you can take a look and see, okay, do I want to have that card on my reinforced phase, or like if you have the combination of the seer and the summoner. So okay, I see the next card is going to be the wizard. I'll play the summoner at level 1, and then have the wizard come out for 7. So that's rank 8. Not many things are going to beat that.
Yeah.
So I definitely the entire time that I'm playing this is very. I don't know if you played a lot of it. A few years ago, it was the trading card game Yu-Gi-Oh. That was this plays very similar to that to me with the combat values and putting things out in the battlefield and the graveyard and the way that.
Good point. I don't play Yu-Gi-Oh, so I wouldn't have been able to make that comparison.
Yeah, anyone out there who's played that, definitely that. And I can also kind of see like a magic component to it as well, except instead of using resources to summon your cards, you just bring them out. Yeah,
it was one of the things when I was overlooking it. I was thinking of like definitely sort of in the family of magic a little bit. Not completely. It's. I think it runs a little smoother because there's a couple less things to worry about. You're not worrying about your mana and everything. But I liked it. I'm looking forward to playing it again. I think
I'm really interested to see how the multiple people playing this ends up working
with the 3 and 4 player variant.
3 and 4 player variants. To see, because first of all, I'm curious to see what the other decks are.
Well, if Ian had shown up, then we could have done a 3-player. That would have been interesting. It would have run a little later. Okay, it's right now it is as of live streaming time. It is a couple of minutes to 8, and we promised the next game is going to be Camelot. Crazier 8 Camelot, the card game, and we will be getting to that. Give us a couple of minutes. We'll be coming back. We're going to be coming back to you live. Right now, you just watched the game of Fate of Akalon.